Okay, now that we have finished the play A Doll's House, I just want to go over what happens at the end. Okay, so most of my students get what happens at the end, um, but I do have a few that kind of misunderstand and they take what happens at the end of Act Two, where she's still planning on killing herself because she thinks Torvald is going to jump in and save her. And so they put that at the end and they kind of carry that through to the end of Act Three when the play is done. Um, so at the end, she does not kill herself. Okay, I just want to make that clear. I have too many students who they get really upset thinking the play ends and she killed herself. And so if that's what you read, it's perfectly understandable that that's what you got out of it, but that's not what happens. So her expectation was that Torvald was going to find out that she had committed this crime, the forgery, and then he was going to jump in and save her and take the blame or, find some way to put it on himself so that then he's the one in trouble and she is 100% saved. So her plan was she was going to kill herself to save him because she thinks he's going to sacrifice himself to save her. But then that's not what happens. He finds out about her crime, and all he cares about is how that's going to affect him. And I mean, can you imagine how that would feel if you're willing to kill yourself to save someone, and then they don't have the least bit of concern about you when they find out about something bad. All they care about is how that's going to make them look and how it's going to make them appear at work, and will this jeopardize my job and things like that. I mean, I can't even imagine how that would feel. So naturally, she is devastated, and she realizes that they've never had a real conversation. She's always played her part of the doll, and he's always kind of treated her like a doll. He's never treated her like a person. And around her, or excuse me, around him, she's never acted like a real person. And she realizes that she did the same thing with her father. That was how he treated her. And what's more important is she realizes that this is how she's raising her children. And so I want you to think back to the beginning, the very beginning of the play in Act One. She talks about how she loves dressing up the kids. And so she really is. She's treating them like dolls because that's how she's been treated. That's all she's seen. But she's realizing at the end that that's not a good way to live. And so she doesn't leave to kill herself. She just leaves. Um, the clues there are she talks about how she's going to go stay with Mrs. Lind. She knows that her friend Christine will take her in for the night, and then she's gonna go move out on her own and learn how she thinks and how she feels because she's always just thought and felt how she's been told to think and feel. And so it's kind of a big deal. But like I said, she doesn't kill herself. She leaves, and a lot of people are really upset. How could you leave your kids? And that's one thing I admit I struggle with that too. It's like, yes, I get that you want to become your own person and you feel you can't be a good mother until you've become your own person and learned who you are. But at the same time, you're leaving your kids and they're going to be raised the same way you've been raised and the same way you've been treated as a married woman. So I struggle with that too. But again, she leaves him to go be her own person and live her own life, probably go get her own job, all that kind of stuff. She does not leave to kill herself.